Hi, welcome to Bruce's Garage. I'm Bruce and this is my garage. Today we're out front getting ready to do a full detail on this Toyota Highlander. The first thing I'm going to do is something that might seem a little daunting and scary to some of you, and that's cleaning the engine compartment. Now I'm going to show you how to clean the engine compartment, how to do it quickly, and most importantly, how to do it safely. So come on in the garage and let's have some fun. So one of the most important things when cleaning the engine bay is to make sure that water and electricity don't mix. And so we do that by covering up any of the sensitive electrical components on the vehicle. And I typically use just some plastic grocery bags, and I try to cover up those things like the battery terminal that's unprotected here. These electrical connections, any open electrical connections, even though they're usually pretty tight, you can't always guarantee that those are going to be super protected, and you don't want to get water in those areas. So you can see we have an electrical connection. Looks pretty tight, but again, I like to be ultra safe and just cover those up. I'm not going to be spraying a ton of water in here. That's the other thing that you have to be really thoughtful about, is you don't want to use a lot of high pressure and you don't want to just spray copious amounts of water. But as long as you're careful about these things, particularly again the electrical components, I've done a number of these and not had an issue at all. All right, so as you can see, I've got most of these components all covered up. Just those things that I felt that were going to be a bit more exposed, I have covered those areas up with plastic grocery bags. Again, you can tie those, you could tape them shut, or just wrap them around as I've done. All right, so now that I have everything protected that's sensitive, again, the electrical connections are my primary concern, the alternator, those kinds of things. The next thing I'm going to do is I have Green Star, which is Koshemi's degreaser, and I have it here in a spray bottle, and I mix this at a 1:5 ratio, and I have a little brush that I'll be using as well. So my first step after securing all the sensitive parts is I'm going to spray the degreaser across the surfaces here in the engine compartment itself. Again, I'm not getting things overly saturated, but I do want a fair amount because the degreaser is going to help to start to break down some of that dirt and grease and other buildup that happens in the engine compartment itself. The other thing is I do like to clean under the hood here. This protective barrier, I usually try to avoid getting too wet. All right, now once I've got that on there, I'm going to let that dwell just a minute, and then I'm going to spray a mix of Green Star that's at a 1:10 ratio with Gentle Snow Foam shampoo. And that's going to be in a foamer, and you can use that in any kind of foamer, and I spray that to help clean, and then I'm going to agitate. All right, so now we're going to spray that mix of Green Star and Gentle Snow Foam. All right, so now I am really going to take a soft bristle brush here and just really clean through these areas that are dirty. These soft bristle brushes are really good for getting into small spaces. The Green Star and the Gentle Snow Foam will both help remove a lot of that dirt and grime that just builds up on here. And again, I go over all these visible surfaces. This isn't intended to get areas that you really can't see. This is more of really an aesthetic than anything else, but it will give the whole engine compartment really honestly a brand new look. Once I have these surfaces, then I'm going to really do a quick rinse. I will be using a pressure washer, but I will try to keep it the amount of water minimal, and I try to keep it at a little bit of a distance. Again, you don't want to spray close to connectors where you're putting a lot of pressure and potentially getting inside an electrical connection. Now what I like to do is just kind of look through here, make sure that I'm not seeing any dirt. And my next step is, while all the surface is still wet, is we're going to spray that with Koshemi Motorplast. And Motorplast is an engine compartment dressing that will make everything just look brand new and resist a lot of dirt and buildup. So this is Koshemi Motorplast. Again, I'm going to take this, and I do spray this fairly liberally across all these black surfaces. So across all the hoses, all the plastics and rubber. And I think we got it pretty much covered. All right, so now all we have to do is we're going to let it dry. You don't have to wipe it, you don't have to do any of that. You can, but Motorplast really activates with the water. And so generally you just want to leave it wet. And so we'll come back in a few minutes when it's dry and take a look and see how it does. All right, so this is after most of the Motorplast is dried. I did wipe off a few surfaces, but you can see the engine bay is looking so much cleaner, and I will show you a before and after so that you're able to see both. This really doesn't take very long at all, especially because the longest time is really just prepping the surface with the plastic bags and then just drying, allowing it to air dry. I hope you can see how easy it is to clean your engine bay. It was not a lot of effort, but we get big payoff. Immediate satisfaction of just a completely clean engine compartment without a lot of work. Remember, we started with covering up those electrical connections with some plastic trash bags or plastic grocery bags. Real simple. We sprayed Green Star or any degreaser of your choice. Some agitation, then sprayed with some gentle snow foam with Green Star. Did a little more agitation, rinsed it. It's a light rinse. If you have a garden hose, that works great. Put it on the light spray and just rinse all that soap and degreaser off. If you use a pressure washer like I did, then you'll need to be a little more careful. Just make sure you're not going overboard with high pressure in any one spot, and you don't want too much water. Once you do that, while it's still wet, get Koshemi Motorplast. It is the absolute best engine compartment dressing. Spray that on all the surface, let that dry. That's all you got to do. And you have a great engine compartment. Looks beautiful. I'm telling you, it takes probably 15 or 20 minutes and you're done. You can do this. I'd love to hear about your experiences detailing your engine compartment. And I very much appreciate you coming to Bruce's Garage. Thanks for coming to visit my garage today, and have a great day.